Today's video is about the D word. Not that D word, you dirty-minded people. Disney. Obviously, I'm appropriately dressed for talking about Disney. Beauty and the Beast came out on Monday on DVD, iTunes, etc. I have it on iTunes because I like to have everything digital. And I was just watching it thinking, do you know what? Like, Beauty and the Beast wasn't even one of my favourite childhood films, so imagine what they could do to some of my favourite ones. Like, wow. So today I'd like to share with you the 3 films that I think Disney really need to make live action. The reason I'm only doing 3, they've got so many in production anyway, and 2 of them are the ones I would have said if it was 5. So shall we just start with the one that obviously, like, everyone knows I'm going to say. Hercules, in case you've missed the memo. Just a bit of a Hercules fan with all things. I don't know why I put the costume out. It doesn't fit me. So obviously Hercules, my favourite film ever, like Disney regardless. Oh, on Monday, which was only yesterday for me filming this, but on Monday, Alan Menken, the composer of Hercules, announced that he is working on the stage show. I cried a little when I found out, like, tears actually came to my eyes and they're coming again. I had to take really deep breaths because hyperventilating, because that is too much for this brain to process. I know it's going to be years until I get to see it, but the fact it's coming. The reason Alan's making the stage show is because he feels that Hercules had a lot of missed potential. The music in Hercules is something that's still commended for. Like, Go the Distance is a song that's properly, like, up there in the Disney classics. Of course, because Hercules is adapted from Greek mythology-ish. You know, he's not even called Hercules, he's called Heracles. But who put the gladiator? Heracles. Doesn't sound as good, does it? Hera isn't even his mum. But, you know, you could really expand on that and you could really look into how they could make it more accurate to Greek mythology. Quite a few plot holes in Hercules which are just like... My only concern, so say if they made it a bit more darker and a bit more true to the story of Zeus cheating on Hera, which I don't know if they could get away with in Disney, it would be interesting to see how they would work Hades into the story, because of course if Hera is the one who wants to kill Hercules, like in Greek mythology, Hades wouldn't be there, and Hades is one of the most... well, Hades is what makes the film Hercules, to be honest. Like, as much as I love Hercules, the character, Hades is, like, it. So it'd be interesting to see how they'd work it out to expand the film, to bring something new to it, as well as keeping it nicely complementing the original. James Woods is still alive, so he could still play Hades. They recast James Earl Jones for Mufasa, so James Woods could do it again, because, yeah. It'd also be interesting to see how they do the CGI on the mythological creatures and stuff. My only casting decision got to be Ariana Grande. She's such a Hercules fan. Get her in there, wherever. I think she'd be good as Meg, but she's dead set on being a muse, that one is. Also, Disney, please cast me as something, like anything, a cloud or whatever. Let's just face it, if Hercules live action ever comes out, I'm just going to sit there crying for the entire film. Just, whew. Naturally, I went on about Hercules for 10 minutes, so hopefully I've cut that down. The next film is Tarzan. Now, Tarzan, obviously, like, if you've seen my top 5 Disney films, is also in my top 5 Disney films. Tarzan's very underrated in terms of the music. Like, Phil Collins did the soundtrack, and Phil Collins sings most of the songs. And of course we've seen what kind of like how well live action animals can be done, so to see how gorillas could be made really human, like if all the gorillas were done motion capture, kind of like how the Beast was done, how incredible would that be? Now, one thing that says Acting My Life, she did a video about Disney live action remakes, I'll link it below. She actually said it'd be interesting if they told Tarzan from Jane's perspective. My only worry with doing something like that, as cool as it would be and as different as it would be, is then how would you work the songs into it? Because the songs for me have got to stay with Tarzan. Two Worlds I think is a brilliant opening number, and of course you wouldn't have Two Worlds or You'll Be My Heart if it was from Jane's perspective, because she'd just arrive. It's very interesting, but it's one that I think the people at Disney could really pull off if they put their minds to it. Can you imagine a cinema where on full volume you've got I love that so much. Last on the list, Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is one that's quite like high up there in ones that people think are going to get remade. They've done a musical and the musical's quite successful, where they've expanded the story obviously. I think they've made Quasimodo do sign language, I think, that he's deaf because of the ringing, which is interesting. So the musical kind of shows the story has room for expansion. I've actually not watched Hunchback many times. I used to watch the sequel when I was younger. I used to really like that. It's one that I've become a lot more fond of as I've got older. I think it's because it was so dark. I think Frollo used to really scare me. The world is cruel, the world is wicked. A little bit too young to pay Frollo, aren't I? Could I get away with Quasimodo? I got a bit distracted again and started singing Out There from Hunchback because I love that song. Here is a little excerpt. Safe behind these windows and these parapets of stone, gazing at the people down below me and above them. but part of them. And now I have no ideas about casting for this one, like with Tarzan, but it's one that I feel could be coming, especially Beauty and the Beast did so well, and that's a very French musical in a way. I wonder how it would work with the gargoyles, things like that. I don't know how the gargoyles work in the musical, I don't know if they're gone or whatever. Interesting. All I'm saying basically, Disney, please make these films. Did I mention I love Disney? Like, I love Disney. If you agreed with any of my choices, make sure to give this a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below what you agreed with, and also let me know if you have any suggestions on what you really want to be made into live action. I feel this is one that certain people could write big long comments about, so let's do that, because yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Knox.